quick lesson. Always clean your camera lens. That's not the lesson. Anyways, the lesson is setting up radial tires to pull. Manufacturers' suggested tire pressure generally don't give you the maximum traction. So here's a good rule of thumb. When you have radial tires, now not bias ply tires, don't get them confused. Bias ply tires are cheap and they wear out 10 times faster than any radial tire. But here you go. Here's a radial tire all the way around. As you can see, radial tire, I've got a little bit of a squat to it. You can see that, right? Well, to get the maximum amount of traction out of a radial tire, you have to have 3 lugs on the ground at all times. 2 in traction, 1 leaving, and 1 entering. That gives you 3 lugs. So as the 3rd lug is leaving the ground, the 3rd lug is coming into the ground at all times. So it's pretty simple to see. I think you can see it here with this one the best. You got 2 lugs on the ground. A 3rd lug in the front is entering, and the lug in the back is actually leaving the ground. So you have 3 lugs on the ground at all times. Now, when you have bias ply tires, there's only 1 lug on the ground at all times, and 1 leaving and 1 entering. So that's, well, I'd say two lugs on the ground. 1 entering, 1 leaving. There's 2 lugs on the ground. So yeah, you get that extra lug going into the soil. And these tires are only like 20% on the front of this 4960. So you know, traction is key here. I guess if I had a cutter, I would cut right here to maximize my traction. But I'm not going to do that because these tires are going to need to be replaced. Same thing with the back ones. Now that there's no weight on the ground, that's another thing. You want to have the weight on the tire when you set the tires up. Even though this is set up the way it's supposed to be. I got 2 lugs on the ground. 1 is leaving, 1 is entering. Therefore, it's positive traction all the time with 3 lugs on the ground. 2 lugs on the ground, obviously you're missing a little bit of traction there. That's why bias ply tires wear out faster than radial tires. There is more pounds per square inch on the lugs as you're traveling down the road or even in the field. There's more slip in the field with bias ply tires than there is with radial tires. Yes, radial tires are more expensive when you buy them new, but fuel savings with positive traction versus pawing the ground, and the added wear by there actually being a 3rd lug on the ground, is actually a money saving. So if you're looking at tire prices and the difference between, say, this front set of tires, these are going to be around $1,500 a piece. At least the last time I bought them, I think they were like 12. They were going to be around $1,500 a piece. Or you go ahead and you buy a bias ply tire for $1,000 a piece. You're going to replace this tire in a short amount of time. Versus, you know, in a bias ply tire, you're going to replace it much quicker than you would with a radial tire. I gotta say, I would recommend Firestone tires, Michelin tires, or Trelleborg tires. BKTs, okay. They're cheaper, but they're a softer rubber. They wear very well and very even, and they've got a lot of traction, but it's a gray area. If you want to go with a cheaper, excellent radial tire, get a BKT. They're made in India, but I've got them on the 8120 and I use them on the 7410. Good traction, but they're an economy radial tire. They don't crack in the sidewalls like the Titan tires do. So if you've never set up a tractor to pull, you know, to pull a chisel plow or a heavy disc or whatever. Now, I have no ballast in these tires, and this tractor doesn't have any weights on it other than what's on the front here. And I'm missing a couple of bolts. Apparently, when we put them on, they were, you know, they were gone. So anyway, yeah, that's just a quick note on how to set up your radial tires. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, rate, and thank you.